nomination. Mr. Ismael Farouk was the winner. Welcome to 180 Degrees.
Thank you very much.
You run a website. It's called SowetoUprisings.com. What does it do?
SowetoUprisings.com is a mashup, a Google Maps mashup, which maps the routes of the student uprisings of 1976. The idea is to provide a platform for collaboration, participation, and what makes it innovative and exciting is if you think about traditional mapping, once a map is drawn, it's finished, and you can put it on the wall and it's very pretty. But the point of a dynamic online map is that it keeps changing. The thing about 1976 is that there are various stories, various narratives, contestations, and this provides a platform for that.
Who goes onto the website?
Currently, no Sowetans are going onto the website.
I've never heard of it.
Sure,
last night was the first time I heard of it.
Yeah, but the problem is beyond that, and that is because of very limited connectivity in townships throughout South Africa. And
so if that is the case, how credible is it?
Well, I think it's highly credible. SowetoUprisings.com was initiated through a research project undertaken for the Hector Peterson Memorial and Museum in Orlando West. And it is a result of now what is 8 months of research. The idea is to address some of the physical barriers of access to technology by installing the website within the museum as an initial rollout plan. Well, this is the next phase of the project. And linking it to the Hector Peterson Youth Forum and Education Program, thereby empowering young people to start interacting with new technologies and tools.
The interesting stories that have come up to add to the map?
There have been quite a diversity of stories, ranging from those with people who were really involved in the uprisings to students who had no idea that a march was going to take place on that fateful Wednesday morning.
I can imagine, yeah.
Who arrived at school and were totally surprised and went along.
And yes, this big event was about to take place. And you say not a lot of people from Soweto are responding.
Yeah.
From those who have responded, have you found people who have been affected by the uprisings but were not necessarily from Soweto or were not necessarily black?
Definitely. In fact, there's somebody from right here in Grahamstown, and this is the mathematics and English teacher from Morris Isaacson High School, who was a white teacher legally in Soweto at the time, and his life was saved because he was locked in a bookshelf in a bookstore by an unknown student, and till today he still does not know the identity of the student who saved his life.
Ismael, what made you want to start this?
Various reasons. But mainly, my focus has always been addressing this barriers of access to technology, and this has provided a new and exciting platform for me. There's cultural motivation behind this. Yes.
What do you do for the website? Did you start it up? Are you on the technological side?
Well, I'm primarily a researcher, so I collected all the content.
Okay.
I was also involved in the design. The actual coding and programming genius behind the website is a gentleman known as Babak Fakhanzadeh, who is an Iranian developer, and he's been living in Johannesburg for the past year. And it's just been an amazing, amazing collaboration. Yeah.
What do you think the Highway Africa win will do for the website and for your personal growth?
Well, I'm hoping that all the media attention would really help the project in the next phase. I mean, as I've mentioned, there's very limited interaction with the website at this current time, and I'm hoping through implementing the website in the museum or finding the necessary funding for implementing that would come through this exposure that's been received right now through Highway Africa. Yeah.
And what are you going to do to create awareness around the website? As you say, people from Soweto are not necessarily logging on, and I would think that would be desirable.
Yeah, totally. Well, at this point, haven't thought about a mainstream strategy or a formalized strategy, but I'm word of mouth and social networking with youth forums, because part of the process of the research process has been networking with various youth forums throughout Soweto, and I'm hoping that ultimately this would be the target audience for the website.
Well, one of the winners in the individual category at the awards, the Highway Africa Awards, Ismael Farouk, for his efforts and for his work at the SowetoUprising.com website. We take a break. We'll be back in a moment.
Coming soon on Africa Within, we return to Zambia and unearth its natural and cultural charms. We bring you another update on the recent Cape Town Fashion Week, this time with a positive collection. At the Lion Sands, we create new taste sensations